So in the last class, we got stuck in somewhere as a part of database implementations. Like, let me log in into my GCP console. So in the last classes, we have been initiated with SQL databases deployment in terms of instance configuration. And after that, we have started with spanning database as well. But due to some kind of a data type issue, we got stuck in the middle of the implementation of our lab, like this part. Let me go to databases, the spanner back. So let me log in into here. So what I do is I have just changed the data type because I tried a lot the max binary data type, but I didn't get the chance to fix that issue. So, but what happened? I just changed the data type from max binary to string actually, because string is the normal basically. So let's go through my table. Oh, I didn't delete it. Let me check my billing. Ah, to 1 day, 5,000 done. Oh my God. Okay, couple of instances now, so it's charged more. One day, almost 4,500 rupees done. It's okay, no problem. Because I forget to delete the databases. That's fine, no problem. But from your end, please take it care of it, okay? Okay, let's go to Spanner. So yeah, in order to creation of spanner databases here. Why? Because spanner databases are basically using for huge number of databases in order to storing the data, in order to export or importing the any kind of a data here. For that, we have created already spanner database here. Then in order to executing the table, we got some issues in the last class. Today, we'll try to insert the data. Let's see, because the only fix I did is for what is that artist info. I had changed the data type here. Okay, initially it was max. Let me show that. Yeah, so initially it was byte max actually. So this data type, the data is not taking, and even though I didn't get what kind of data I could pass it, but later on what I revealed that. So I just modified this string actually by removing this thing and adding some string kind of a data. String means you can pass any kind of a alphabets numeric combination, or purely alphabetic or purely numeric also. You can give it, because string is allowing combination of alphabets and numerics kind of a values basically. So let me create one more table, like student table. Let me create it with same kind of a fields. Again, I'm adding one more table because already I have run that query, but in the backend, because offline I have added the table. So again, I want to show you how we can add that. So again, I'm creating, one more table here, like student table. So just try to submit here. So that is the way I have fixed it here, but that data type, I'm not sure what kind of value will take it. So my second table also about to create here, and once it is done, if you see here, my student table also successfully created. So of course, fields are same only. I didn't change it, but when you're practicing, you can change the fields. You can put more fields also. There's no limitations. Even though you can give column up to 256 columns, because in the table you can give 255 by 255 rows and columns, right? So accordingly, you can give it any column, any number of columns up to your patience. So go to your data. So just click on your data. Yeah, same thing, it will come. Simply, I need to change my query here for insert. I think somewhere I kept my insert query. Okay, right. I can do that. So just write insert query one more time. Let me copy into my notepad, then I can write it, but because it's very simple. So here, instead of modifying there. So insert into my all fields as usual, like how we discussed in the last class. But here I would like to give all names here. Names means passing the values. The first thing is artist ID. You can give anything like name, numeric name. Artist info, since I am passing error, sorry, a string, then I can give like kind of a sales kind of a department here. Then birthday. You can give any name, sorry, any date format. Year, month, date, then first name in the string format, and second name, my last name, any name you can give it. So this query I supposed to be using, oh, close bracket. I supposed to be using there. Let's see, first of all, validation. Still what happened? Ninth line. Oh, sorry. Yeah, at least syntax is valid now. So insert into my, this is my table name along with all, what happened? Okay. So along with all parameters, whatever I supposed to be, insert the recording to my table. So just try to run, go to table, still this populating. Just wait for some time. It is loading my contents. Yeah, one row is successfully, inserted here inside your, what is my table? Student. Let's go try to create one more insert. Let's Q101. Let's this HR. Then date of birth Q19, some different. Name can give one more different name. Like so like that way you can try to insert one more record here. Second record also updated properly. I think so. It is loading now. Yeah, now we have two records. I would like to record, insert one more record. Then we can play how we can write the DDL commands basically. Okay. So just go use similar kind of thing for third record. That is 102. Third one is like IT department. Date, I am giving some different way, and name also differ, like student, kid. So try to run in order to insert one more record. Now we have a 3 records in ideal scenario. Let's write some queries, because my table is ready and data also ready. So this data will be load at the time of accessing these tables by your customers basically. Because when your customer registration, let's say I have an application, which application, let's say Flipkart application. If I want to register my Flipkart application at the first time of login, sign up kind of a thing, I need to fill all information, right? Username and password, email, your register number, something like that. So all data will be captured and inserted into databases only. It could be any databases. Not only this, they might have different databases, right, in the market. So according to the strategy and technology, let's say in our case it's a GCP databases, right? So we can use any kind of a data. If it is a complex, we can go ahead for spanner. If we have very basic level kind of a simple applications, then I can go ahead with the normal SQL databases, irrespective of relational or non-relational. So try to run some query here. If I want to fetch some information, okay, so what kind of queries we can write it? We can learn some 2 or 3 kind of a small queries where you can write it. So the first query is select asterisk from student, from table. Actually my table is student where artist ID is equal to 100. Means I want to fetch information. I want to fetch, let asterisk from student A or T, no matching signature operator. Okay, sorry, space. Yeah, so select asterisk from supported. Okay, let me run first, then we can check that. Select asterisk from your table where artist ID is equal to 100. Across the database table, if I have any information which is artist ID is equal to 100, then it has to be fetched. So then try to run no matching signature for operator. One more space, I guess.
Actually, it is not string artist ID primary.
Sorry?
String ఇచ్చారు సార్ అక్కడ ఆ సింటాక్స్ తీసేసి స్టార్ ఫ్రమ్ అక్కడ స్పేస్ ఇవ్వాలి సెలెక్ట్ స్టార్ ఫ్రమ్ దగ్గర
Select star from my table.
స్టార్ ఫ్రమ్
Yes, no, it is valid only now.
స్టార్ కి ఫ్రమ్ కి మధ్యలో బిట్వీన్ స్పేస్ ఉండాలి సార్.
No, it will take it. No problem. So earlier, like I was given code, single quotes, because since this is the integer value, string will not allow. That is the only syntax wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. So now it's valid now, that my syntax is valid at least. When I ran this command, so my row is fetching. My row is fetching out of 3 records. Even though if you have 100 records also, it will come according to your query basically. Okay, so just give 101. These very small commands, basic level commands. So my record is fetching like 101, whatever they have. What is first name, what is second name, what is artist, just kind of names only. You can change relevant names. I'm just given as an example only. Okay, even though if you take some kind of a very big tables like 10 rows, 15 rows, then also it's very good. Fill all information when you are doing practice, then you can try to play with that. Let's say the lost record also. True. Yeah, so like that way we can fetch like that. And if you want to see only table, then write some select asterisk from table, then it will give you all information what the table contains basically. Select asterisk from your table name. Let's give artist table. So when you're typing your table, automatically populate your existing tables here. Okay, just click on that, run it, and yeah, in the table I have only one record. Okay, I didn't insert more here. So like that way, we have some small kind of a DDL commands, data definition language, data DML commands like that. So if you want to, anybody interest to learn SQL kind of a examples, in the same page, you might see SQL query help here. Okay, so simply go, not a mandatory, but if you are interested, anybody who is coming from some kind of a small kind of a database background, maybe when your graduation, you might have a, database concepts, right? So just go through here and everything, whatever I have read, everything, they're also giving some kind of examples like that, and simply you can play with them. Not don't go to PLSQL or programming language. That is not at all needed here. Even this also you know to use, but at least DDL command is most important. If someone asks you, okay, just give me the table information about you. So if you want to know, right, at least minimum kind of a thing, and just query this particular employee ID and fetch the information, give it to me. So these are very basic level kind of a thing. Simply you can run such a kind of a DDL or DML commands, then you can go ahead there. If anybody interested, just try to watch this page or read this page. If anybody interested more, then yeah, you can go ahead, whatever you want. Yeah, nothing more, but not a mandatory. Again, I'm telling. Okay, even if this kind of queries we can get it from database team in our organizations, but nowadays basics are most important. So at least we should know small things, even though I don't know much in the deeper about these database concepts basically, because I'm not from the database background. So very simple, I know that this kind of things. So that's kind of the things we can do that. And next we have to do export and import, right? Once my data is ready, I would like to import my data into my storage accounts basically. So in GCP, we have a buckets basically. So if customer is asking you to import your data from table to your storage account, if we have such a kind of a scenario, yeah, we can do that. So for that, I would like to enable one of the API. If I want to export or import any kind of a data, please note the prerequisite is you have to enable one of the API, that is data flow, because this data flow API will help us in order to enabling the copying of the data from databases to your buckets basically. So that is that. Go to library and data flow. So this is interview question. Without enabling, they will not ask you directly. Let's say I have created spanner database and there is some data in my table. I want to copy this data into my bucket. What are the prerequisites they will ask you basically? Okay. So the prerequisite only one, of course, we have to enable spanner API. We have to enable my bucket API basically. After those two enabling, in terms of copying of that, we need to enable data flow API here. Just click on it. Without enabling this thing, we cannot copy any kind of a data in terms of export and import. If you see here, already I have enabled this API. So the people who are doing first time, enable will come to the picture here. Okay, but after enabling data flow, it will take minimum 30 to 60 minutes in order to enabling your export and import mechanism. Okay, that is the Google practice where we have to wait for that time, because this service is enabling in the sense the data flow will take at least minimum 30 to 60 minutes to allow exporting and importing from our databases into bucket here. But in your enterprise subscriptions, like in your organizations, it will take hardly 15 to I think so 5 to 15 minutes. Okay, for free subscriptions, it will take minimum 30 to 60 minutes, because it depends on the provisioning of this API in the data centers. So let's go. It's already enabled. Let's go to your spanner. Where is my spanner? Yeah. So once you, yeah, before that, I would like to create one bucket because I want to store it, the data from my spanner database. So let me open one more instance here, the same instance in different browser, sorry, different tab. Let me create one bucket. You know very well how can you create, it's very straightforward. So go to cloud storage, create one bucket. After a long time, we're creating bucket. Let's back up data from spanner DB 2022. So let's show the thing. I'm just putting same. So my bucket is about to create. Just switch to your previous thing. Go to your spanner database. If you see here, you might see import and export here. So just go to here. If you see both, you have it. Okay. Just first you can go ahead with export. So it will ask you where I can storage your data. Select a storage close bucket or folder you want to store. If you take file share, then it will ask you folder. If you take bucket, then it will ask you the bucket name. Just click on browser here. This is my storage account. Just now I have created it. Just click on, just select, click on next. Okay, which database you want to store, export your data. In my case, I have Spanner DB. In your real time or in your practicing, create more databases, but please don't forget to delete it, okay? Because database creation will, if you see my account, it's already kills almost 4,000 rupees in a day. Yesterday, I forgot to delete the database, right? So, because the lab is not complete. That is why I kept the similar, it's already eaten 4,000 rupees of mine. So, please make sure when you're creating labs or after your lab, please try to delete the databases because they will charge more for databases. I told you Spanner is a very sophisticated database where we can handle the huge number of complex applications in terms of data. Select Spanner DB. From this data, or from the tables what are there, it has supposed to be export here. Then I understand the, if you see here, I understand that this export will incur cloud data flow charges at the standard rate. So this part, it kills my 4,000 rupees. Okay, just try it. Okay, reason. Let's take, where is my bucket? I think the central one, I guess. Let's check it. Where is my central? This is second. Yeah, we can anything this data flow only, right? So click on next. Everything is ready. Just trying to start import. So definitely most probably it will fail because after enabling of your data flow or after login creation of new bucket in order to exporting my data, then it will take, at least 30 to 60 minutes in order to export my data. Now it is failed here because I need to wait for some time because this is the new bucket, right? So in order to sync my data flow API to this particular new bucket, we have to wait for that. But in the live organizations, since those are the application, those are the enterprise applications, so it will take hardly 5 to 15 seconds. That too, we cannot create always the new buckets in the real time. So we have a standard buckets for each project. So simply it's a one-time setup. One time you can create that, it will take 5 to 15 minutes, then the data flow copying will start it whenever we require. Like that way. So you can try the same thing and after 30 to 60 minutes, in my case, it will take around 60 minutes because in the last batch also, it was taken around 50 minutes, I believe. So because these are the free subscriptions, we have to be patient for some time. Like that way, we can do import, a similar pattern for import also. You can do that. This is export, right? When you're doing, your practice, try to do with export. Okay, because I explained you export. Simply import also similar pattern, but where you are choosing from cloud to here in my table, right? So like that way, you have to select like this, choose your bucket and select your database. Let's see the result. So this part we have to do it. And other part I explained you, very straightforward, nothing much complicated, no commands, right? So similar way you have to try with import. If you're facing any issue, just let me know basically. And Like that way, we have to maintain our databases. This is very simple basic kind of a data, but in the real time you might see some huge number of records, basically like millions of records, thousands of records, or lakhs of records, because customers are keep on using the applications, right? So these databases would be very filled up by filling the real-time data here. Since we are practicing here manually, we are entered very small kind of a level and all those stuff. And that is the thing of this particular SQL, sorry, databases from the GCP here. So after this today, I would like to introduce one more new topic. That is the most important topic, not much technical way, monitoring kind of a topic. Because we have done a lot of things, right? But end of the day, you might be implemented and you might be deployed a lot of application, you might be provisioning a lot of infrastructure, but end of the day, monitoring is the most important, irrespective of any resource, irrespective of any infrastructure, irrespective of any service. Why? Because without monitoring, how you monitor your resource, basically, right? So in that context, monitoring is a very important role, even though it is not that much technical, but still it is important. Why I am in that sense, let me explain you the real and scenarios why it is required. Yeah. So in the real-time live scenarios, especially, let's assume that you have set one production setup. Okay, just assume that you have set one production setup for application one along with infrastructure. It could be anything. We have done a lot of infrastructure, right? We have done virtual machine storage buckets, basically application serverless computing services, application deployments. We have done a lot of things till date. So just now assume that your application is up and running in the production along with this application infrastructure. It could be anything, VMs, serverless computing like app engines, AKE cluster, anything, whatever we have done so far, which is related to infrastructure, we have done setup. My application and infrastructure went live here. After went live, my customer is expecting, my customer is expecting, okay, my application went live, it's really good, super, fantastic. But every day, how I should know anything is failure happen, any info related things happen in terms of failures, hardware failures, or anything happen, as a customer, how I should know first, or how my team should know. Since we're a cloud engineers, how my team should know, where I can check that, how we can handle if my VMs are shut down state, or my VMs are not properly responded, or my application is not available, if my application is give 404 error, how I should know, because my application already went to live. So without proper having this kind of information, customer really, from customer point of view, it is very really hectic factor. Let's say I have 10 virtual machines. Suddenly one of the virtual machine is not responding, but of course my business is going on super, because still I can maintain 9 virtual machines, even though one virtual machine is not responding properly. How I can know that? Even though one watchman is not responding, I need to do proactively need to take care of it if my hardware or infrastructure is failing or not responding, something like that, right? So in that concept, monitoring will play a very key role here. Basically, for anything, I told you, application level, infra level, we have only two things, right? Apart from these two, did you see anything here across the my training session? We have an infrastructure configuration and deployment. We have an application deployment. Apart from these two, we haven't done anything new here. Of course, we have introduced the functionalities from the GCP. Let's say I need to deploy application. Sometimes I have taken app engine, cloud functions, cloud run. Like that way, whatever Google is offering by using of the functionality, sorry, by using of the services, we have done application deployments and infra deployments. For infra, we used to create machines, buckets, VPC, virtual privacy, cloud network, IP addresses, XYZ. We have done such a kind of things here. Apart from these two, we haven't done anything here. So that is why if you want to do monitoring also, these two only. Apart from these, nothing much. I don't think so. I don't see anything here. You have to do monitoring of your application. You have to do monitoring of your infrastructure here. That concept monitoring will come to the picture here. Why in the sense? 1 second. It's not going up. Let me take new only. So, as an engineer, how we can do proactive monitoring here sense? Let's say you have your team, your support team, cloud engineering team. So already they set up the, already I told you, we have set up the production environment, everything is ready. Next, our customer is expecting by how we can do enabling the monitoring and everything here, right? So for that, how the monitoring will happen? If you see here, already Google is giving one of the option monitoring. If you see here, go to your tools, sorry, operations, under operation sections, you might have see operations, sorry, monitoring, under you might see dashboards here. If you see here, once you click on dashboards, whatever you have done so far in terms of infrastructure level services, in terms of application level services, app engineer, it will come to serverless model. Cloud spanner, it will come to database. Cloud SQL, it will come to databases. Cloud storage, it will come to storage. Disks, it will come to computing. GKE, it will come to serverless computing. Like that, whatever you have used till now, we are using all those things. That's why it is showing. So few things I have deleted already. Okay, the GK also I am about to delete. Otherwise, it will charge more. That's fine, no problem. So once you click on anything, then it is showing here, and just click on your. Oh, sorry, not this. Click on overview. So once here, this is my click on VM instances. We'll go one by one. Let me check for my VM instances. Here is my monitoring matrices. Not this. I want expecting some kind of charts basically. Let's say this thing. This is fine. Where is my chart? Matrices monitor this quality. Yes. This thing. Integration, no, dashboards, it should show. Let's say cloud spanner. Just now we have done, yeah, it is showing. Yeah, maybe VMs are my deleted. Let me go to VMs. I think the VMs are not available. That's why it is not. I need to explain this kind of a graph actually. Let me go to compute engine. I think so recently I have deleted my virtual machines. Dual tool, my first cluster. Oh, it's there. I think so. Yeah, I have VMs machines here. Let's see. This marketing also I need to be checked that. Let's see. Let's go to marketing one more time. If you see here in the monitoring sessions, click on dashboards. First go to Cloud Spanner, then I can come to virtual machine. If you see here, my database is up and running now. Just now we have been created. So this is through output, how my databases keep on fluctuating here, how the data is copied, how the data is in, I have inserted something, right? So 100 bytes per second, 200 bytes per second means my graph is showing in terms of data receiving. I have inserted 3 records, approximately 1020 at between 1010 to 1020 means there is some copying is happening in order to inserting my data. So that graph it is showing here. If the same graph touching very high spike, like it's almost 1 megabyte or 1 terabyte in future. Maybe, of course, we don't have that kind of a huge data, but in the real time, you might see spikes here. So whoever cloud engineering monitoring this kind of a, resources services from the GCP, then if any spike is happened here, then he has to notice to the DL of your email ID, means cloud support engineering team. So how we can set up, how we can do alerting, we have a one more lab for that, because this is very important. In order to alerting mechanism, we can do have a, all kind of labs for this. But first try to understand in which scenario you have to enable the monitoring, and you have to create a alert mechanism basically. So if you see here, read request, how many requests are coming between 10 to 10:20, we have got some requests here, that is execute sequence. If you see here, you might see, please concentrate on my cursor point here. If you see March 30, 2022, 10:13 a.m. along with timestamp, execute a SQL. When I am run and execute SQL command in order to insert my query, right, there is some SQL execution happen around 0.194 per second. The speed was happen like that around along with timestamp. Just assume that if you see some spike, when your spikes happen, the red mark will come to the picture here. Okay, the red mark come to the picture. Just go to your cursor point there and check the timestamp along with your execute any SQL. Then you have to inform your applications team or database team, because there is some spike. What is spike? Nothing but an unexpected behavior. Spike is nothing but an unexpected load or unexpected behavior. If something unexpected behavior happen, then proactively cloud engineering team has to be do such a kind of a monitoring, and we have to set up the alerting here. Soon I can explain how we can set up. We have a lot of things we can do inside the monitoring here later. And this is the write request. So when you're passing data, request is coming as a data format. Then write means inserting into my database. So same timestamp. If you see here, timestamp is same here, because whatever I have executed some insert queries, around 3 queries I have executed, it was happened between 10:10 to 10:15 or 10:16 like that only. So read is sometimes what happened, read is happened properly without spike, but when the writing happen of data into database, sometimes spike will happen in the real time. If you have huge number of data, sometimes spikes happen. So anything, simply I can say any spike is happen, it has to be informed to your respective teams. In this scenario, it's a database. Let's go to virtual machine. Let's go to applications. Any infra, any kind of a GCP services level, if you see any spike, automatically you have to inform alerting mechanism towards email, towards SMS as well. I'm not sure SMS service will enable for a free trial account, but still we can try. Anyhow, we have a lab actually. So we can enabling email alert notification and SMS notification when we spikes happen anytime. Then we can SMS. I'm not giving any assurance because SMS will come under enterprise subscription only, but still we can try, no problem. So, and total storage, yeah, how much storage is available in our database basically. So it is showing, because some data is occupied like around 45 bytes. If you see here, used bytes is 45 B. B means bytes. You know, right? What is byte? Of course, very low, very basic. You know bytes, I think so. Everybody knows what is byte.
8 bits is equal to 1 byte.
Absolutely. 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. 1024 bytes is equal to 1
1 kilobyte.
megabyte.
1 kilobyte.
Oh, sorry, 1
1
kilobyte.
mega.
1024 KB is equal to
1 megabyte.
megabyte.
1 megabyte.
And 1024 megabyte is equal to 1
1
gigabyte.
gigabyte.
And 1000 24, sorry, gigabyte is equal to
1 terabyte.
1 terabyte, like that. So this is the this is size of, guys, this is the data size basically when you are importing, copying any kind of a data. So it will convert into binary formats, sorry, byte formats, like 0 1, like that. So because the systems have handled such a kind of a mechanism by provisioning of systems basically handling the data here. So like that way, if your data is belongs to MB or size, let's say if your database is equal, sorry, your data, your data size equal to 10,546 kilobytes. If someone asks you, but you know very well, but still I'm explaining some basic level information here. If your data, is belong size is 10,546 kilobytes, means how many megabytes this is? Approximately 10 MB. How we can do calculate? Simply open your calculator, give 10,568 divided by 1024, because I need to calculate it's a 10 megabytes, approximately 10.32 megabytes here, like that. So it's the same way if we have like the very long kilobytes, like this data kilobytes, then just divided by 1024, it's around, oh my god, again we have to divide by 1024, means almost 56 million gigabytes. Oh my god. No, I don't want to take this much. Let me say something simple one. Yeah, this is fair enough. 1024 means 6400 megabyte. Again, if I want to convert GB, again you have to divide by 1024, like 6 GB data is occupied by my database basically. Like that way you have to calculate it. If someone asks you, if they give this DB is occupied this kilobyte, so how much storage we have to add it? So maximum we are using the gigabyte or terabytes only. So you need to calculate like this way. If they are giving directly in the GB, it's not at all a problem. If someone will give in the KB format, you have to calculate like that. Of course, basic level, but still try to understand. That's it. Yeah, like that way. So let's go back. Let's see another service like cloud storage. Let's see if any, yeah, is capturing. Great. Because we have a lot of buckets, that's why it's capturing. Yeah, just the rest of things is empty because since a long time I'm not at all using bucket. Today only I use the bucket, right? So just now, right, 10:30 time I use the creation of bucket, and I just given something, right? So that is why my grass is showing some small kind of piece of, you know, data reading was happened, request was happened, just small data because I just created ticket, sorry, bucket only. And if you go, let's take some big data, infrastructure summary. Yeah, this is very, 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 very important. If you see here, 5 virtual machines are activated. The count also, 5 virtual machines are there in my this subscription. This is very, 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 very important, and regularly it is also very important. Regularly you are keep on monitoring this because virtual machines are most important for us. So if you click on this dashboard, if you see here, simply it is getting max CPU and average CPU. Means each machine is using CPU utilization approximately 11%. And average CPU means approximately 24/7 per day, it is taking almost 8% CPU utilization. Of course, I'm not at all using any virtual machine, but simply I have put it, I can put it there for a long time, right? I forget to delete actually. So it's not at all using anything, but maybe application, sometimes applications may be using whatever I have deployed into my AKE cluster, right? When we were doing the lab for AKE, so it is giving maybe some resource utilizing is happening. So that is why it is showing this much here. If you stop your virtual machine, simply it won't give you any kind of a thing here. But VM by reason here, if you see, I think so we have taken all central only. No, we have taken 2 regions here. Out of 5 virtual machines, 3 virtual machines are taken US Central 1, couple of virtual machines are taken US 1. This is, I think so, US East, this is US Central out of 5. The first color is belongs to US Central, second color is belongs to East 1. even though we can do more, like, you can change it here. I think so. Our first virtual machine is belongs to like that. Yeah, we can do slowly. We can do if possible. We can do a lot of things. Actually, we have a dedicated monitoring team in my company, so they do such a kind of these functionals and all those area, basically. So if you see here the CPU utilizations by VMs, let's take today. This virtual machine is belongs to GKE. Just please focus on my cursor here. So this virtual machine is belongs to GKE, my first cluster. When we have done lab for GKE, this virtual machine is provisioning, right? So during that time, it's created. Now it's utilizing between at least for last 5 hours. I think so. It's taken 5.3 hour, 5.3 for pool. On an average, it's taking 11.73. And if you see my second virtual machine is, no, this is refresher, this is full, this is one virtual machine. Let's say, mm, 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 let's take another virtual machine, 2 VM by CPU, right? By name, interval, no, not this. I need to take each virtual machine. View in Matrix Explorer, I think so. I have to take name GK. No, yeah, this is the thing. So I want to check only my GK criteria. Yeah, whatever I have taken for GKE, everything will come like that only. If you want, you can save the chart as well, because this is my new dashboard. Dashboard name GKE VMs. Of course, not technical guys, but functional, but still just you have to know about the monitoring as well. Yeah, simply I have created one dashboard and simply I have taken the. So when you're working with live scenarios, take this snapshot. If any spike happen, take this snapshot. Simply you have to share with your respective application teams or database teams, whatever it is required. Because this will give more representation in order to giving as a proof basically. Because if you're giving proof, anybody will not come any questions. If you're not giving, simply telling by verbal, nobody will not believe in the IT. Even though you are a genuine, even though you are a very reliable, without proof won't believe anything, especially in the supporting kind of operations. Without proof, nobody will not accept anything here. Let's go to load balancer. I'm not sure if the load balancer are there. I think it's a couple of load balancers out there. Let's see. It seems like empty. Yeah, it's not at all using anything because we're not at all using. Maybe outbound packets is happened today. I don't know why it was happened, but still. Latency, outbound packets, something like that. So you have to check anything. If you have real data now, it's really awesome actually, but we don't have real data here. We have a very small piece of data. If you have real data now, the graph will give a very good representative basically. So let's go if any data is available. We have done an VM instance. I think so. Disk will give more data. Maybe we are using, oh my God, 100, 105 things. Let's check that. Yeah, this is giving some better, I believe, because we are keep on using disks, right? We are creating buckets means, and other it is storing into disks only. This is giving some kind of decent amount of graph here, like that. And let's go to not data flow. I'm not sure data flow service will enable or not, but still we can try. No data. I told you that it will take some time. When it is activated after, I think so 50 minutes, then when copying data, then your graph will start here. I think so, yeah, I have only this because when you're doing labs, each lab, when you're doing now, come to this monitoring dashboard and try to see it here. When you're getting virtual machine, anything like any GKE, cluster, Kubernetes, anything, App Engines, Cloud Functions, try to check monitor, take some graphs, and you can delete your, services or resources, basically whatever you have. So still here, we do have, and in coming classes, not coming classes, by most probably by tomorrow, we can create alert mechanism. This is the most important, and how we can do integrations, how we can do uptime checks basically. So how we can get uptime checks, how we can create alerting mechanism. This is the most important. So how we can create alerting mechanism and what is the benefit of that? Let's go and try to discuss about it. This is the most important part, incidents. So when you are monitoring your production environment, especially production, you can do monitoring only production environments most of the times, not only non-production environments here. So we have to enable monitor, because monitoring has a very cost-based investments from the customer point of view. So this is also expensive. So we can do monitoring only for production environments. We are talking about incidents as a part of monitoring. So this incident purpose, customer will use many tools. We have a service now, we have a Jira, we have a Remedy, very old. This one is very old. Remedy. We have what else? We have a lot of tools guys in the market. Okay, the reputed tool is ServiceNow and Jira, reputed tool. So these kind of tools, these are kind of external tools. These tools are not all coming under as a part of GCP services. These are all third-party services, sorry, third-party tools. So customer will use based on their management decisions. As an engineer, if you don't know about ServiceNow, no problem. If you don't know Jira, also no problem. If you don't know about Remedy, also no problem. If they are using any additional tool also, if you don't have any experience in it, not at all a problem. But when you join in the organizations, in the projects, they will give you some small kind of a training like 2 to 5 days. These tools are very simple, user friendly, like graphical representation, very simple tools, but you have to understand the functionality first. If I want to create one incident, what is the workflow? If I want to create one kind of a ServiceNow ticket, what is the workflow? You have to understand that kind of a workloads during this kind of a training sessions. One small example, I can explain it here, but still I cannot assurance you, right, whether you can get a chance to work with ServiceNow or Jira or Remedy or any other tool. I cannot give any assurance. Since I'm good with these three, I can explain very small level about ServiceNow and Jira, very theoretical only, because I don't have setup for ServiceNow and Jira, even though I don't have licenses for that, because those are the licensed software, sorry, licensed tools. But I will explain in the functional and just kind of a workflows here. Let's say when I was talking about incidents, let's say one scenario, my CPU is spike happened more than 170% out of 100. Means one of the virtual machine CPU utilization is happening more than 70%. So it has to be raised alert towards email. These are automated process guys, okay, not manual, or SMS. So this kind of workflow you have to set up in your dashboard. Most probably tomorrow we'll do have a lab on this. So, but try to understand what how you need to handle the incidents in the production. If you get a, I told you in the beginning of classes, we might get a chance two type of thing. One is a support role, another is the implementation role. Implementation comes support. This is bit good if you get a chance. If you get this chance, you have to work hard. Okay, so once my CPU utilization, any virtual machine in my production environment greater than 70%, I need to raise a alert, and towards email, I had to send back to my DL of cloud engineering team. DL means what is DL? You know very well, right? Distribution list. DL means it's a group list. I mean, what I can say, group email ID, I can say. Distributing list we are calling as technical word, but common word is the every cloud engineering team, we have a group email ID. This email ID having all your group of members. Let's say I have cloud engineering team, I have working with 7 members. So this DL contains all 7 members, means that email notification will send it to all 7 members. Whoever available in during their shifts, that cloud engineer has to be take care of any kind of incidents basically. So let's say greater than 70% happened. Okay, alert email has to be sent. That setup I need to create it. Once it is done, you might receive a email. What is that? Some XYZ VM CPU utilization is more than 70%. Please proactively look into the issue, something like that. So in the same email, then I need to create first incident file. That's why I told you implementation and fixing is very simple, but we have to follow the process first here. Majority of the people, without creating the incident, simply they will fix the issue, they will send back the email, that's it. But how process management and chain management will understood that there is some incident, someone has fixes the issue, in future how we can avoid it. So process will help to avoid the situations in future. So if it is happened greater than 70% in the sense, something is happened into CPU, right? Maybe some data flowing issue, maybe traffic is too high. If traffic is too high, why? We need to check, we in the sense, the supply management team will check with the business team, why your customers are too much using my resources. We need to understand it. If it is needed from the business, I need to upscale my VM machines, right? That a kind of a solutions we need to avoid such in a future kind of incidents to prevent such a kind of incident. This kind of a process and alerts will help more actually in the real time, especially in the production environment. Why? Because why we need to prevent, I can explain you soon here. So once one of my VM, what I'm explaining, yeah, one of my VM is utilizing more than 70%. First is kind of a warning message. So warning message means it is indicating to cloud engineer, please focus on proactively in this particular virtual machine. Just wait for some time. Still CPU utilizations keep on using the 70 only. Then you have to log in into your virtual machine and you have to check the utilization, whether any application is keep on sending the traffic to a VM or any load is keep on sending to a virtual machine. If it is sending, then why it is sending, you have to send an email to that particular application team. Then they will respond you, okay, now this is the peak hours, so my customers using this kind of a traffic. Okay, is it now, or is it intermediate, or is it permanent? If it is intermediate, no problem, we can ignore this. If it is permanent, means traffic is increasing, I need to scale up my virtual machines. If it is AKE, I need to create one change request, then I need to scale up my virtual machine like that. Once I scale up my virtual machines, automatically this kind of incident will not at all happening. Means almost I am reducing my incidents. చాలా మంది అనుకుంటారు ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ ఎంత ఎక్కువ చేస్తే అంత నాకు పేరు వస్తుందని. నో, nowadays how customer is expecting, the person who is reducing incidents, that is the more powerful. Why I am saying ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ రేజ్ అవుతున్నాయి అంటే ఇష్యూస్ ఎక్కువగా ఉన్నట్లు, రైట్? సింపుల్ లాజిక్. ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ రేజ్ అవుతున్నాయి అంటే యువర్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఇస్ నాట్ స్టేబుల్, సింప్లీ ఐ కెన్ సే, ఆర్ యువర్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఇస్ నాట్ హెల్తీ. It's keep on creating incidents, means it's not good as a best practice. But there is some wrong guidance from the organizations. ఇన్ని ఇన్సిడెంట్లు ఎక్కువగా చేసుకుంటే అంత నాకు పేరు వస్తుంది, ప్రమోషన్స్ వస్తాయి అనుకుంటారు. నో, that is wrong information nowadays. If you are working on more incidents, but you are useless, simply I can say. Why? Because you are not at all preventing the incidents for the customer. As a cloud DevOps engineer, you have to prevent the situations. How we can do improvement, how I can prevent the incidents, that is the main agenda. But in the on-prem, what happening, there was some misguidance from the organizations and clients also. Let's say I am working for one customer as an engineer, I am vendor, right? For that customer, I am a vendor, I am an engineer. Let's say today I have completed 3 incidents successfully, and monthly I have completed around 20 to 30 incidents. Wow, congratulations, great work. Majority of the people. Gopal Krishna, your video is enabled.
Not mine.
Oh, sorry, someone is enabling video, guys. I'm not sure. Arey, what happened? Okay, it's gone. Thank you. So, what I was talking, yeah, when you are supporting on-prem projects, it's very olden days, like 3 to 4 years back. So, whoever doing the more tickets, and project managers and management team will very congratulations. But nowadays, once cloud come to the picture, like Google Computing or any vendor, doesn't matter who is the cloud. But however, the best practice is, although you are doing more incident, but you have to reduce your incident count. Why? Because if incident is more happening, customer will feel like, even though I'm using cloud technology, why still I am facing this kind of a unhealthy behavior in my infrastructure. So please try to reduce this kind of incidents. Means, in just example I have tell, for this example, the fix is, so the traffic is not intermediate, it's a permanent. The solution is I need to scale my VM. Once I attach it to my VM, automatically whatever the traffic is there, it will come under 50% to 55% CPU utilization. Because earlier the resources are less according to my traffic, that is why my CPU utilization is going to greater than 70% here. But now, once I attach the VM, the traffic will share to new VMs, then automatically utilization of CPU is less than 50. That means this instance will never happen. Again, my traffic is going to double. Till that, traffic will not keep on growing, right? It will happen once a year or once or twice only, because that will be in the peak hours only, because business is very stable. So like that way, this very small incident I have explained here. Let's go one more incident as an example. Storage. Let's say I'm using my storage bucket which contains 1 terabyte, sorry, 5 terabytes. Okay, this is using for one of the application, just some XYZ application. So simply my storage is reached to utilization of same number, 75%, then alert has to be raised with my operation team, because I need to proactively work on this. I need to attach my additional storage here. Otherwise, if storage is full, if application team is not able to insert the data, then my application will be going to hang position. And because there's no place to accepting the new data, then customers keep on trying to, users keep on trying to inserting the data. If my storage is, let's say my stomach is full, what happens? I cannot digest my thing, right? The additional food. Similarly here also, if my storage bucket is full, I cannot take in the new data. I can avoiding, I can simply refusing the data. If my storage bucket is refusing the data, then application team, the application will not at all work, because there is no space. So for this fix, I need to attach new bucket, or I need to I need to delete some space if it is not at all using from this particular 5 terabyte. But for production, we cannot do any kind of a deletion. Even though it is not using, no, we can keep on as archive. For production, always customer will expect add the new storage bucket or add the new infrastructure like that, because for them production environment is more important, right? So data is also most important. So simply we have to create new bucket, then we can assign to application like that. So once it is done, then again this kind of incident will never happen. And coming to similarly VM hanging situation. So just assume that my VM is hanging and it is not responding. My VM is hanging, it is not responding since 10 minutes. Okay, so my dashboard, what will happen? It was keep on check the VM health status. If health is warning state, because if it is hanging position, obviously my VM status will be warning. So if status is equal to warning, then email alert has to become the same. I don't want to repeat here, same procedure. It has to become to cloud operation team here. Then what you have to go? You have to log into virtual machine. If you're not able to log into virtual machine, please raise a ticket and give the solution like, after taking the logs, I would like to restart my virtual machine, and inform to your stakeholders and raise a ticket, share with your stakeholders, because of this virtual machine hanging position, I need to take a proactively action like, VM restart after taking the logs. Why logs? I need to analyze why it went to hanging position later on. But the proactiveness, first you have to stable your virtual machine first, then you have to analyze. Majority of the people em tappu chestarante, they keep on wasting their time into investigation. Majority of the times, Don't put your investigation efforts if your resource is not healthy. First, bring your VM or anything has to be held position. Then take the logs. Sorry, before trying to restart, then take the logs. Then fix the virtual machine first, and it should be up and running. Inform to stakeholders. Analysis you have to do after your fix. But majority of the people, they will went into panic situations and they'll keep on asking the solution, without intimate to stakeholders and without intimate to business people, because business will not wait for your fix. Business will not wait for your solution. Business will wait only your fix in the proactively. Later you can check RCA. So once you go through our logs, then we have to check the RCA. What is the root cause? How I can prevent in the future? This is most important as a cloud engineer here. So just check the logs. Most of the times what happened, why it went logs in the sense, maybe some thread problems, process IDs problems like that. So like that way, so most probably restart is the best solution, but sometimes customer will ask RCA as well. But yeah, you have to do RCA as well. Those all things will come as a real-time experience for this kind of situations at least. But everything will not give you directly. When you are sitting in the production environment as a part of cloud production engineering team, everything they will give you KT at least for 3 months. At least 3 months, they will give you KT as a part of your onboarding, because production environments are very sensitive environment. Even though you are a very good in cloud, even though you are a very good DevOps engineer in GCP, even though you are a more experienced GCP, they don't care. If you are going to new organizations, for you, it's a new only, right? Even though you have a good experience, it's a new only. I'm talking about production environment support kind of a thing. I mean, operations kind of a thing. So they will give you minimum KT for 3 months. In this 3 months, you have to understand each and everything, how the organization setup is happening, what kind of applications are deployed here, what kind of infrastructure is here, how they are making best practices in order to following the process. Process is first, implementation is second, third is the fixes and supporting like that way. So that is the main thing as a part of here. So tomorrow we can have a one lab on monitoring setup, like alerting and SMS. I'm not sure guys, because I never done before in the free trial version, but anyhow I can try to do that. Let's see the output there. So tomorrow we do have a monitoring kind of integration and setups and alert mechanism along with SMS notification. And after that, from day after tomorrow, yeah, I think see someone is pinged here. In monitoring services, if you deleted any VM storage buckets, still can we see those also in monitoring as a no, we cannot see. If it is deleted, monitoring integration will remove that particular VM VPI from the monitoring API here. No, it won't be available. But if you deleted, alert mechanism will trigger to your DR. That will be happen. Let's say if I delete my VM, someone in my team, automatically alert will come. This VM is permanently deleted, like that. You might get such a kind of alert, but it won't come under monitoring, because the hardware, because the infrastructure service is not at all integrated with monitor, though, then it won't be available. So after tomorrow's monitor, then from most probably, where is my calendar? No problem. From April 1 onwards, we will start the Terraform. Most important. We can start Terraform. Okay. So, and that's it from today. Do you have any questions? I will be here for next couple of minutes. Sorry, I have taken some 8 to 9 minutes extra, but no problem. It's worthy, because it's most important as a part of your operations daily basis. These are the very daily basis. Today, whatever I have explained, those are the daily basis, regular monitoring as a part of your job. So that is worthy. So tomorrow practical, we can do it. Then we can start with Terraform soon. I will be here for next 1 minute. Almost my office timings are started. We'll start. Okay. Okay, no problem. Any questions? If you have over the WhatsApp also, you can raise it. Otherwise, we can wrap up the call today.
Sir, auto scalability and work with the sir.
Sorry, auto scale.
Auto scalability work with the ఒకవేళ
చెప్పండి.
ఇందులో మనకి వర్చువల్ మిషన్స్ ఒక 12 ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, ఒక
Okay.
13-14 కావాలనుకోండి, CPU యూటిలైజేషన్ ఎక్కువ ఉంది,
Yes.
మాన్యువల్ గా ఎంటర్ చేసే బదులు మనకి ఇందులో గూగుల్ క్లౌడ్ లో స్కేలబిలిటీ అనేది ఉంది కదా సార్, అట్లా ఆటోమేటిక్ గా.
చెప్పాను కదండి మీకు, జీకేలో రెప్లికాస్ చేసి చూపించాను కదా. జీకే చేసేటప్పుడు 2 రెప్లికా 3 రెప్లికా, యూ కెన్ పుట్ 10 రెప్లికా. ఇట్స్ అప్ టు యూ. రెప్లికాలో YAML ఫైల్లో రెప్లికా ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 3. ఇదే మనం మాన్యువల్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు, ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, చేయొచ్చు. యూ కెన్ డూ ఆటో స్పెల్లింగ్ వితౌట్ డౌన్. ఐ థింక్ సో జీకే క్లాస్ క్లియర్గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశానండి మీకు స్కేలింగ్ గురించి. యా, ప్లీజ్ గో త్రూ వాచ్ మై వీడియో ఆఫ్ జీకే ఆటో స్కేలింగ్. Yeah, okay guys, take care and have a nice day.